This video is sponsored by FlexiSpot. If you're anything like me and you spend a lot of time at a computer, it's easy to spend hours in the same uncomfortable posture. Luckily, there's actually a way around that. FlexiSpot standing desks let you adjust the height of your workstation whenever you feel like it, to fix your posture, get rid of back pain, or just pace at your desk if that's what does it for you. It is the coolest thing to be able to raise and lower a desk with a literal push of a button. This here is the Warmhearted electric standing desk, which was extremely easy to install, even for me. It has multiple USB ports, and it can support up to 110 pounds, which is plenty enough for all your monitors, equipment, and houseplants. If this sounds like something you'd like, use my code in the description for 5% off. I sometimes struggle when writing about something that's as big as the now deservedly Oscar-winning phenomenon, Everything Everywhere All at Once. I watched the film twice, I've loved it more each time, and I've wanted to write about it since. But when so much has already been said about a show or a movie, I sometimes worry that my voice is just going to be adding more noise. So I'll do here the thing that I know is worthwhile, which is share how I feel about it. Everything Everywhere is the kind of film that's my personal weakness just because of how existentially driven it is. Anything that poses some earnest, interesting question about the human experience is automatically going to intrigue me. I've seen a lot of comments calling the film's philosophy optimistic nihilism, which is something that there's already a word for: absurdism. If you know me at all in real life or have been around this channel for a little bit, you'll know I'm a big fan of absurdism, and this tends to be a theme in a lot of my favorite stories. In very brief summary, the absurd in absurdism refers to the tension between the meaninglessness of the universe and the human desire to find meaning. And this is one of the main through lines of the film, right? Joy, in her omnipotent Jobutupaki form, has realized the very essence of the universe, which has led her to believe that life is meaningless.
Nothing matters.
But the fact that human beings are small pieces of shit isn't the whole story. The universe is meaningless is only half the idea in absurdism. And the second half is that in the absence of some kind of existential truth to find, we get to create our own meaning. And this isn't just a platitude. Because our feelings and choices are quite literally all there is, this is what makes them the most powerful things in the universe. Essentially, life's what you make it, so let's make it rock. This stuff is hard to talk about without sounding like an obnoxious, pretentious philosophy bro, but personally, an absurdist perspective on life has brought me a ton of peace and appreciation. There's nothing to solve. There's no pattern or secret code to crack, because all there is what I do right now and today. And the way that I saw this idea portrayed in the film rang so intensely true to exactly how it feels. Specifically, there are three classic responses to the problem of absurdism. The first is essentially giving up. Finding meaning is an absurd task, so there's no point in trying.
Eventually, that all just goes away.
The second is a leap of faith. This can be a belief in a higher power or otherwise, but something that will eventually provide an answer. And the third response is the simplest: to embrace the absurd, and through that, find peace as is. So this is the philosophical base of the movie. And in Everything Everywhere All at Once, we get this love letter to absurdism that merges the grandiose and the mundane. Joy's existential despair is the engine of conflict, and she only realized these things that she did after her version of Evelyn pushed her to the breaking point. The two ideas are merged perfectly. We've got the sci-fi multiverse story and a daughter's relationship with her mother, and they're equally significant. When the planets collide as Joy and Evelyn eventually hug, because, yeah, that's exactly how it feels, isn't it? So we see that Joy experiences existential despair, and what does she do? She looks for connection. She starts hunting Evelyn down like a supervillain, but we see very quickly that really, she's looking for an antidote to her hopelessness, to her loneliness. And that antidote is being understood.
I was just looking for someone who could see what I see. Feel what I feel.
Joy tells us that nothing matters. And yet, something clearly matters very much to her. Finding a version of her mother that she can connect with. This is Joy's absurdist leap of faith. Multiverse or not, this speaks to such a real and common conflict, knowing that our parents might not always fully see us while still wanting them to. It's a similarly absurd tension, the struggle for meaning and the struggle for understanding. When Joy finally tracks Evelyn down, this version of Evelyn surprises her by doing what she wants. Evelyn fractures her own mind in order to bring herself to Joy's level, to actually see things from her perspective. And we see this brings Joy some sort of peace, eventually. And initially, Evelyn arrives at Joy's same cynicism. Nothing matters, so why bother with anything at all? Easier to take a baseball bat to your life and the people in it. And Joy insists that she see it too. The fact that everything is meaningless and pointless, so they can give in to the bagel void forever. With her mother unable to contradict what she sees, Joy's leap of faith is unsuccessful. And so she opts for her first response to the absurdity of the universe: to give up.
Just let me go.
And yet, she kind of doesn't want that. She makes a big fuss of leaving, but she lingers. When Waymond calls Evelyn back, Joy tells him to let her finish.
Evelyn, 别说了，够了。
Let her finish.
Despite everything she's seen, despite being broken by her mother in one world and disappointed by her in so many others, she's still curious enough about this. And this is the line that crashed into me like a meteor for some reason. It's the simple, naked desperation of it. Please prove me wrong. And maybe in certain contexts, the way this plays out might seem whiny and manipulative, a childish dare in hopes that the other person will argue the opposite. But Joy doesn't really try to leave. She still has, or wants to have, hope. Because while she's half Evelyn, she's also half Waymond. Waymond, who's been sticking metaphor googly eyes on everything just for the sake of some good humor. Waymond's belief in hope and kindness, willing to see the best in the world, is equally a part of her, and equally a part of the world. Waymond's this way not because he doesn't understand how hard life can be, but precisely because he does. And this is where it all connects. Evelyn does see the same truth. She sees Joy's bagel, but she proposes something new. Not a solution, not an answer, just that caveat.
If there were an answer I could give you to how the universe works, it wouldn't be special. It would just be machinery fulfilling its cosmic design. It would just be a big, dumb food processor. But since nothing seems to make sense...
Here, all we get are a few specks of time where any of this actually makes any sense.
When you find something or someone that does, it's euphoria.
Then I will cherish these few specks of time.
That final response to absurdity, to simply embrace it. Inspired by Waymond, Evelyn is able to offer her daughter some relief. Not by telling her that the world is any different than it is, but by telling her that she is worth fighting for regardless. That the moments that they might have together, however fleeting and imperfect, are also worth it. The nature of mother-daughter relationships, parent-child relationships, can be confusing and complicated and frustrating. The universe can be vast and chaotic and unpredictable. Humans can be small pieces of shit, and life can still be beautiful. Kindness can still make a difference. Karaoke is still fun. Opposite interconnected forces. The googly eye to Joy's bagel. To use the allegory of Sisyphus's rock, the rock always rolls back down, but for the sake of love and connection, it's worth pushing back up.
I guess all I can do is embrace the pandemonium.
find happiness in the unique insanity of being here. Now.
Having said all this stuff about parents and connection and understanding, I think it's also really funny, meta, and ironic that in so many TikTok and YouTube comments, I've seen this similar sentiment. Did we all show our moms everything everywhere all at once, and did they all not get it? The fact that so many people shared this movie about being understood by their mother, and their mother didn't get it. Because it's vulnerable to share pieces of yourself with a loved one and know, despite your desperation for them to see what you see, sometimes they just might not. And it's especially intense when it comes to parents, mothers, these people who have known us all our lives, and yet sometimes feel like they're the ones who know us the least. And sometimes that's a fruitless conversation. We reach out and share an intimate part of ourselves, and those close to us might not always get it. Without any malice, sometimes people are just different. But it still hurts that deep, human part of us that wants to be seen and understood. Because if someone can witness us, right? If someone can see the things that move us, that torment us, that light us up inside, something in this chaos might make sense. There's a quote from another show about this that I like a lot.
And what is love if not being seen?
And so Evelyn says, maybe it doesn't make sense, for all the reasons she gives, and she still wants to be here. Are we meant to understand that Joy and Evelyn have now resolved their issues and are going to have a flawless, fully repaired relationship? Probably not. But even if it is only these little moments, I think here we're meant to understand there is a point to trying. Maybe that's the entire point.
It's why we loved Everything Everywhere All at Once so much,
Yes.
because it's like profundity and absurdity are deeply in love. They go hand in hand, right? The world is very profoundly meaningful and deeply silly.
As I consider all of this, I think about when I may have fallen short of seeing people, when I missed what they were trying to show me because I was so focused on my related anecdote, or what I'd say next, or what I thought they meant. I think that obviously in the attempt to connect, there's always going to be a risk of failure. It happens. It's human. But like I said, I think the point is trying, so I'll amend the line that I love. What is love if not wanting to see someone? And obviously there's a kinship to knowing that someone else is feeling exactly the same way about something. I feel it all the time at concerts. A song making all of us equally batshit, or talking about TV shows with people on the internet. But there's something different but equally valuable, I think, about someone saying, I don't experience exactly what you do, but show me anyway. And I can't deny that bit of disappointment of showing someone something and being met with what I perceive as a lack of understanding. Because a little scared part of me worries, if they don't understand this thing that I care about, what if they don't understand me? But for the most part, I think there's more to it than that. Connecting is very much an active choice. Like, so what? We see something differently. If we're both curious, what a great chance to learn something new about the other, to understand why we see it differently, and become closer by sharing new perspectives. And just like with this film, there are things I understand, and those unique to this particular story that I can't. Parent-child relationships are both extremely specific and extremely universal. We don't have to relate to every single detail of this relationship to see ourselves in it, and there are things specific to this dynamic. I'm not an Asian American, but I am the kid of an immigrant. I am someone who's felt emotions that felt like an imploding universe. And so, this film was successful. I saw myself reflected in a story about people very different from me, and I also saw my own experience and my own existential crises seen. And probably above all, I had a nice time at a movie theater with my friend. So, to me, maybe that's the whole unremarkable point. To be present and to be kind to those around us trying to figure out the exact same thing. As much as we'd maybe like, we know we can't literally get inside someone else's brain, or put them inside ours. So we try to do the next closest thing. Like, invite them to watch our favorite show with us, or listen to the music that they send us. We invite each other to see and be seen, and when we do, in those moments, it all makes perfect sense. Now, time for my shameless little Patreon plug. If you like what I do and you want to support the channel more, Patreon is 100% the best way to do that. For your support and generosity, it's a place you'll find scripts as I write them, live Q&A, monthly exclusive videos, and other stuff like that. As always, enormous thank you to my patrons over on Patreon for helping me do what I do.